spawning in the bottom left-hand position of Overgrowth. Currently 1 game up and representing EC Visualize. The teal Protoss player, ladies and gentlemen, it's Snovski. And his opponent spawning in the top right-hand position as the awfully smug-looking red Zerg player, ladies and gents. Representing Clan Swarm Host, I suppose, it's SortOf. Alright. So SortOf there. Perhaps, to be honest, looking at the bracket, thinking, yeah, I'll be able to advance from this group. But not finding it as easy, maybe, as he had imagined. Snovski played just an excellent game number 1. And did a great job to make the decision to just move in when the Swarm hosts were few in number, using the Phoenixes to maximum effect. And comfortably holding that game at the end when SortOf just tried to push through with the Swarm host. And I think that's really important because at the end of the day, it's not easy to make that kind of decision. It's a lot of commitment to say, I'm going to risk my entire army and hope the Swarm hosts don't pick them apart. But he made the correct one, and he's now 1-0 up moving into Overgrowth. He's going to be very, very annoying once again, trying to get SortOf to risk putting a hatchery down, and doesn't look like it's going to be possible just yet. Is he going to plant down a pylon as well? No, doesn't look like it's required because the hatchery does go down a little bit, straying too far with that probe there. But, you know, he's going to be able to have it for scouting purposes now. We'll be able to come into the main base, see, of course, that the spawning pool is complete here on the edge of Creep. That's an interesting place to put the spawning pool, guys. He might have banked on the probe coming back in, not seeing it behind the mineral line, and then moving out. But he does actually spot it. And SortOf is going to be able to get his first couple of links very, very shortly indeed. In the meantime, Forge done. Cannon half done. We've also got the gateway done and the Overlord directly on top of the cannon. So, of course, if you had 6 lings right now, you wait till the cannon starts targeting the Overlord, you run the lings by, and you let the Overlord be the sacrificial dummy to get all your lings into the main base. Wouldn't that be cool? But that isn't happening. We just have Overlord going, wait, hang on a second, I didn't sign up for this. Stop. Get away. No. Bad. And it will just about... Will it make it away? Oh my goodness, no! He actually gets the Overlord as well. I thought it was just about out of range. But, wow, that's pretty gory, I'm going to be honest. That spine didn't look particularly healthy. Because I definitely know what a healthy spine looks like, ladies and gentlemen. And it wasn't that, I can tell you that much. Alright, so we've got more droning on happening here from SortOf. We are, of course, seeing the comfortable 4-minute 30, sub 4-minute 30 third base here upon seeing that a Forge has been put down by his Protoss opponent. Absolutely no worries whatsoever. Knows that there's not going to be any meaningful attack anytime soon. I mean, the attack is basically this one probe right now, guys. And I think with the Zergling on the case, he's not too worried. He just literally wanted to scout that the third base is up for the Zerg player, and that's it. Back home, we once again have the Stargate. Now, Snovski was very, very effective with the Phoenixes in game number 1. Are we going to see Phoenixes in game number 2 as well? Are we going to see perhaps mixing it up, going for Oracle play here? I don't know, but we will find out shortly. SortOf with those lings will be able to scout that if he gets anywhere close to this part of the map. Has he seen it? Ooh, I just missed whether he saw it. No, he hasn't seen it yet. And a Zealot's actually awfully close to him right now. But won't be able to... He's just kind of tempting the Zealot. Come on, man, come after me. But I'm afraid it's not going to happen. The Zealot will be able at least to defend against this. We have got now an Overlord going into the main base. And, well, Snovski doesn't care if this gets scouted, because Snovski wants to kill Overlords with Phoenixes. And, you know, once an Overlord dies to a Phoenix, you're pretty certain your opponent's going Stargate. So, don't worry about it. There is no Overlord here, of course. Managing to pick one off earlier with that Photon Cannon. But, I suspect SortOf now knows that the Stargate is in existence. And we'll wait and see what his response to that is in this particular game. Immediately going up to the lair now. Possibly try to get down that spire as quickly as possible. His 2 gases have been taken in the natural, but not in his main base yet. It's just varying up where he takes his gas. Sneaky edge of creep spawning pool still here, researching that Zergling speed. And a couple of Phoenixes just casually patrolling this half of the map, waiting for more brethren to join them so they can do some meaningful stuff. Now these 3 overlords, I mean, wow. They're definitely a magnet of sorts, so put it that way. You need to be careful with that moving out. This Zealot now has 3 kills, doing a great job holding those watchtowers in the center of the map. And these first 3 Phoenixes are now moving out towards this part of the map. I feel like before the Spore Crawler completes, he could get 2, maybe 3 workers. Is he going to try? He's going to try and get the Queen, actually. He's going to need 2 lifts to do that with 3 Phoenixes. You basically need 4 to kill the Queen in one go. And there's the second lift. So the Queen will be able to go down. Nice pick off there. Needs to be careful he doesn't get within range of that Spore Crawler. Is he going to try and pick off 1 or 2 more workers? Can he kill them? He's certainly trying in the natural expansion. There's a drone on gas. There's a drone on gas. Picking off 2 more. And there is... Was that a Zergling or a drone? I couldn't quite tell. Let's take a look at the dead head. Actually, I suspect that was a Ling. Don't really know why you'd have a drone randomly transferring from the 3rd base to the natural after all. And here come an awful lot of Zealots to try and target the place where the Queen just went down. So a pickup on the Queen, and this will be enough to kill the Queen off in 1 hit. And Zealots, in the meantime, trying to do as much damage as they can elsewhere. Managing to pick off the first 2 roaches. There are more coming in, though. And these Phoenixes have to be so careful because of that Spore Crawler. I think they're getting very close to going down here. They're picking off more roaches to try and deal damage to them, but there are Zealots and Stalkers with this now as well, and Snovski is trying to possibly end the game with this harassing. He could just stay in the 3rd base, pick off the Spore Crawler, and say, I can do whatever the heck I want with these Phoenixes from now until forever. Needs to run away with the Phoenixes, though, in the face of 2 Queens. And, wow, Zealot's actually getting surrounded by drones there at the back. Not the greatest situation to be in, I have to admit. The Queen's going down now, 1 of them getting picked off. There are still 2 more. We need to see some pickups, though. These Phoenixes aren't doing very well, and it looks like SortOf is going to be able to push back Snovski for now. The Phoenixes could have done a little bit more, but 11 workers have gone down. The worker count is currently 54 to 50 in favor of our Protoss player. Now, there are 6 Phoenixes here still on the offensive. He can see the army moving out towards him right now, and he's going, hang on a second, do I have enough to defend against this? Well, not really at the moment, but it looks like he's able to at least keep the roaches at bay for just long enough. I mean, look, we basically had a Void Ray in production, a Mothership Core, and a couple of sentries. Like, I think the roaches could have picked some stuff off there, realistically, guys, but sort of deciding to take the more solid defensive posture there, by the looks of things. And Snovski just seeing what he can pick apart with these Phoenixes. Now, he has actually given... SortOf's given Snovski a little bit more time here. So we've got 2 more sentries out here now. And we've got another Void Ray coming out as well. He's going to be able to force the cancel at this 3rd base. But aside from delaying that base, he hasn't actually done that much damage, it has to be said. And now this Mothership Core and the Void Ray are going to say, you're going to do something? You're going to do something? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? He's not sure. He just sat there slapping the roaches. Does this make you mad? Does this make you mad? The roaches are eventually going to have to move away. Second Void Ray coming out now. Colossus going into that potential endgame composition that Snovski liked so much from game number 1. And we're not seeing Swarmhost play from SortOf this time around, guys. Oh, wow. This is the one Queen is bullying all of the... Wow, that's amazing. Bullying every single Phoenix. And they have enough energy for lifts as well, by the way, guys. And they're like, hang on a second, we don't need to take this, guys. We're not gonna take it. Alright, there we go. The next Queen to come out dies. Hopefully slightly more quickly than the previous one. But that's a lot of Hydralisks coming in for a flank, and he's actually moving... Oh, I thought he was going to move them underneath the Phoenix before doing anything, and they will stutter step and not quite kill one, actually. So these Phoenixes are very much an endangered species right now. Roach Hydra is the name of the game for SortOf in this particular game on Overgrowth. He's getting his 4th base down now as well. Where are we going to see the differentiation from Snovski? He now knows that the Hydralisks are out. More Colossi, more Void Rays coming out. That much is not changing. He's going to be sticking with the same composition here. We've got the Twilight Council completing as well. Is that for upgrades? +1 is already complete for our Protoss player. +1 armor has started. Do we have a second forge? No, it's actually going to be for that Templar Archives. All right. So he's still on the 1 forge, but we're going up to the Templar Archives now. Third base, by the way, is nearly done for Snovski, so it's taking a while to rebuild that. But he's looking in a much healthier position to defend that now than he was before. We have got a swathe of red coming across the map, though. Vipers, Roaches, and Hydralisks are deciding to make their presence known. And he has to be very, very careful with those Vipers. He could pull those Colossi into the rest of the army here. There's one Abduct. The Colossus doesn't go down instantly, but near enough instantly to... Ooh! And that second Abduct, all of a sudden the Colossus doesn't even go down. And that was a little bit embarrassing for SortOf there, as Snovski's army proves its mettle. And those Void Rays just doing an excellent job. We need to see... I'd like to see a couple more sentries and a lot more Zealots to buffer damage while more Void Rays and Colossi get added into this army. We've got 4 more gateways. Army over here of Roaches coming in towards a third base location. Photon overcharge goes down. Rest of the army coming in. Wow, those are just pure Hydras. Colossus chase them going om nom nom. That's definitely breakfast right there. And we're going to be transitioning into High Templars and Storm very, very quickly indeed. Storm's about halfway done. These Hydras are so squishy, guys. I really don't know about this. And he's moving into natural. Now he's committing with the Hydras. That's a lot of Hydras. That's a lot of DPS. But guys, I got Colossus. I don't even care. I think 2 Void Rays should be sent. Oh, pardon my mouse there. I think 2 Void Rays should be sent to deal with this and have the rest of the army deal with the Hydras. That is totally what I do right now because the Colossi can do so much damage. Split the army, Snovski. He needs to split the army. Because he's not splitting the army, he is taking damage in both locations. Cybernetics Core going down. Forge in danger of going down right now. It looks like he's yes, he's going to get it, and now we have a big engagement. He's done a lot of damage to the infrastructure, and SortOf is on 2 flanks right now. Where are the Colossi? One of them's over there in no man's land thanks to the Viper. Another one is back here. The army goes down, but a lot of damage has also been done to the Protoss. Cybernetics Core has to be remade before more Stalkers can pop out. That's really frustrating. I would have loved to have seen an initial couple of Void Rays deal with the initially deal with the Roaches, everything else attack the Hydras. I think that would have been a great move for Snovski. But SortOf in the meantime, he's continuing to remax. More Lings and Hydras on the way, opting for Zerglings rather than Roaches, by the way. Deciding the Roaches might be less effective against this massive, heavy, juicy composition that we have here. Would rather be wrapping around this army than having a lot of Void Rays, for example, pummel them. That would not be a good thing. So he's actually opting for a much more Ling-heavy composition. He's still got Roaches in here, but I think he's going to have fewer of them than before, and he's going to mix in a lot more Lings. So we'll see what that does from a DPS point of view. He could go in for a smash and grab. There's the Forge completing again. Gateway and a second Forge completing. Does that mean we don't have a Cybernetics Core? Oh, never mind. The Cybernetics Core actually building, but not on my screen right now. Excellent couple of Storms to start that off with, and a couple of Hydras go down. That was a good initial engagement. There's the Cybernetics Core, by the way, in the back. I have to say, so far Snovski's taking some pretty intelligent engagements here, and I really like the way he's playing this. He needs to do something aggressive soon. I hope that he does. Ooh, nice pick off there of that probe that was going to go make the 4th base. Looks like these Lings are going to get cleaned up by the Zealots, and a second probe is going to go out to try and expand even further. Here comes the army. Abduct from the Viper, and a Colossus goes down before the game even starts. There were 2 drones with this. What? Oh, well, never mind. Both drones are now dead. Mate, that's definitely not what you signed up for. I would watch out, man. That's definitely not your role right there. Second Colossus goes down. Excellent Abduct from the Viper. Slowly trying to pick apart the big heavy-duty units in this army and try and fight the rest head-on. Snovski being very careful about this engagement here. Just slowly waiting to see if SortOf absolutely wants to commit here. He is on 4 bases. He hasn't taken a 5th. No one's taken their gold bases yet this game or anything like that. Trying to kill off this Archon will successfully do so. There is a Psionic Storm. 1 random force field in the middle of nowhere. I think that's literally the advertisement for Hitbox there, ladies and gents. There you go. The hitbox force field is alive and well and living on overgrowth. Wow! And that was an excellent storm. But a lot of those units still firing with a lot of DPS on about half health, and now he's moving in for the kill. He's saying, hang on a second, no Colossus means I can move in, right? Wrong. Those storms were so good. These roaches are basically on half health, and these Voiders are doing so much damage. In the meantime, I think the Protoss just wins this fight straight up. He has to be careful. It's 127 to 125 supply right now in favor of Snovski. He's got 2-2 versus 2-0, by the way. That's the upgrade situation. We have more Colossi on the way. We have Blink on the way as well. So it's not the most straightforward game here for SortOf. Is he going to transition into Swarm Host like he tried to do last game? It really didn't end too well for him. Wow. That gunk coming out of the gas looks pretty serious right there. That's actually a pretty cool graphic if you think about it. And, well, the Viper buffet on the gas geyser is complete. It's actually going to kill off the building as well. Splat. There we go. And, might as well eat a Spore Crawler while you're at it. I mean, why not? That Viper's full. This Viper's going to be full in just a sec. And we have a bunch of roaches being really annoying at the 4th base location. We have Stalkers and Zealots to try and combat this. It turns out that Stalker's actually just going to walk around and provide comic relief. He's like the clown at the rodeo, guys. He's just providing a distraction while the damage takes place. And we have, this is a very easily pickable, offable kind of army here. SortOf needs to be careful overextending because of the DPS that can be dished out by this army and how quickly it could go. A couple of force fields and a good storm, for example, can kill off most of those Hydralisks, so definitely needs to be careful. Hallucinated Phoenix says, hang on a second, what's going on here? And here we go, storms to begin with. That's a lot of storms in the exact same location, though. I would have liked to see one or two sort of either side to sort of spread it around the army. I don't want him using all of his energy in one go. And here comes the blink forward from Snovski. He wants to engage this army from SortOf. It's 156 versus 182 supply right now. Hanging in the balance. I think if Snovski just crushes this army, he could go on to win. But SortOf has a lot of good chances here to win as well. Good choke so far. Decent initial storm. Excellent follow-up storm and a good feedback on the Viper. Snovski's doing a lot of things right here, but he is still down on supply. It's 128 versus 153. He's going to be able to finish this army off, and he's got the Archons for DPS. He's got the Void Rays in the skies. And he'll get to push the creep back as well. SortOf is now down to 141 in terms of his supply. And down here, Snovski, he's back up to 140. And he's continuing to mine from his 4th base as well. So this is a pretty tense game number 2, guys. Snovski wants to try and win this 2-0 versus SortOf. And, I mean, it could happen here. Who knows? SortOf, though, he's still enjoying an advantage as far as supply is concerned, but only now is he starting to mine from his gold base. I think that's kind of the trigger that Snovski needs to be a bit more aggressive. If he's mining from his gold now and Snovski isn't, he really needs to push forward and dismantle that base and say, I want to play 4-base Protoss versus 4-base Zerg. I'm going to make you do this. And, ooh, wow, excellent blink forward. I don't think the Zerg could have turned around and fought that, so I think that's fine. He's going to think about moving forward towards the gold base now to see if he can kill that off. In the meantime, we have a Roach run by over here at the 3rd. No, it's going to be at the 4th. So, is Snovski pushing forward officially into the gold base? Doesn't look like it. Is he going to defend the 4th? Is he attacking? He's attacking. And, well, these Roaches at the moment are being incredibly effective against the 4th base. But can this army be effective against the gold? And here we go. We have excellent storms, actually, from Snovski. Means that this is going to be so frustrating. I don't think it's possible for SortOf to hold this. He's going to be able to take it down. Both sides, I think, will be able to take down a base each. These probes are doing a tremendous job against these roaches, but it's not quite enough. Oh, hang on. These stalkers should be able to clean it up. And then what of this army here? Snovski looks like he might be taking an upper hand here. He's still behind by 20 supply, though. Time will tell if he gets this base as well. SortOf could be in an awful lot of trouble. This Nexus is not dead, and these roaches are falling. It's 143, 153 supply. The difference is only 10. We've got 2 Colossi here with this army as well, 3 Archons, and an awful lot of Stalkers. There are no Storms left, admittedly. But now it's a 4-base Protoss versus a 3-base Zerg, and SortOf's going to come in and try and finish the game. He's pulling probes as well. He's down on the low ground now. He might get a good concave, and here we go. This could be the final engagement of the game. The first Colossus goes down. The second Colossus is being microed back. It actually stays alive at the moment and does a great job of absorbing a lot of that damage and that good counter-attacking intuitive just target firing from SortOf. But it is going to be enough to force this back. We have got a little bit of a flank. Well, the flank's getting flanked at this point, and it's all very messy. 87 versus 71 supply, 35 workers versus 45. And for the second time tonight, guys, after 33 workers have been killed there, I think I can say slugfest, massive boxing match between these guys. Here's the big difference, or at least I hope here's the big difference. Let's take a look at the mineral income. 1,000 versus 380 in favor of our Protoss player. His remax is going to be so much faster, but we'll sort of let him get away with it. We have this Roach Hydra army now moving into the natural expansion. This is very scary. There are storms available here. Have to be perfect. They absolutely have to nail it. And here comes the engagement. There's the first, there's the second storm. Oh my goodness! If that didn't nail it, I don't know what did. And I think that's enough. GG! Snovski, ladies and gentlemen, completes the upset. Incredible player, but he 2-0 SortOf to go into the winners match of Group C.